Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Love what you drive. This is not going to be our typical Panther platform walk around and review, but I did want to include this car on my channel because it is a special one for me and for the channel as well. Now, many of you may recognize this little symbol or this hood ornament, and many of you may not. Now, when I first time saw it, I didn't know what it was according to just this, but I'm gonna go ahead and take a step back and introduce you to a project, to a car, to I'm not even sure how many videos to come, but to just simply introduce this and include this on the channel, as well as something that I've been really passionate about and something that I have been really looking forward to. As you can see from the grill, yes, this is a Pontiac. And yes, it's old, it's brown, and it is big. Look at that. So guys, I just want to introduce to you this car, this project, this 1985 Pontiac Parisienne Safari. Now, let's talk about this. You may right off the bat think, that's it, Art has gone off the deep end, there's no longer Panther content coming, he's switching things up, but that is not necessarily true, because I still have my Mercury and the love for it, and there's still many videos to come on all the DIY projects and everything in between. But this one I've had parked here in my driveway for a couple of months already, and I'll tell you the backstory. Like I said, this is a 1985 Pontiac Parisienne Safari. Now, how we came about this was on Facebook Marketplace. I was just swooping, or I don't even know what they call them, but just shopping around as always, trying to look at deals and see what we can find. And we came across this beautiful big brown wagon. We paid a pretty reasonable low price considering the condition that it's in, but we didn't really have much information about it. So we contacted the gentleman. I'll include some of the Facebook posts of what we saw. He said it's still available, it's parked in my driveway, and it's been like that for 15 years. So we went to check it out. From the first look of it, it was, you can say, love at first sight. And so we ended up striking a deal with the guy. We were not able to get it started as we did not have any proper equipment, tools or jump box or a battery, but the guy said that the engine was not seized. Like I said, we didn't have our tools, we didn't have anything to even try to turn the engine. But the story behind it was that his aunt had it and she drove it, and this is a New Jersey car, and she drove it, and then one day, whatever happened, she just came and parked it in his driveway, and it's been sitting there ever since for, he said, between 12 and 15 years. Now, when we pulled up, the tires were a little bit sunk in the ground. The tires were, some of them, a little bit flat. But we looked around and we saw that it was not in a bad shape at all. Just from the body, just from the outside, you can see how good of a shape it actually is for a car that is 38 years old. Now, another thing I liked was it's my birth year. I'm a 1985 born, so not that that's what I looked for, but I've always wanted a wagon, something from the 80s, just some of that nostalgic feeling. I remember when we moved to the States back in 1994. we moved to America, my uncle had I believe it was a Ford LTD wagon. And I remember we would pile up with all the cousins in this type of a car and sit in the back. And we would go to the mountains in Colorado where we lived. And it was just such an amazing time. It was big, it was spacious. We always piled in and we always had a blast. Maybe that had something to do with it. His was a blue color with some wood paneling. But this is where we at today, and this is what we have in my driveway. Now let's look over the body a little bit and see what it looks like. Now the Safari maybe right away gives off the idea that this is like a roof rack off-road Safari traveling car, and it might as well could be. But what really drew me to this was the condition of the car. I mean, you can still see all the trim, the wheels and tires. I don't think these are original. They're definitely a little bit of dry rot. But every body panel, every body piece, every chrome is in its place and not missing. So I thought, how bad could it be if the car is all put together, all pieces, everything is with it? What could be wrong? Anyways, from the front we can see that it's all complete, and that it is missing a couple of letters of the AC. So now it's just a Ponte. Maybe that could be its name, Ponte. Huh, what do you guys think? Anyways, I usually never name my cars. My Mercury is the Merc. Pontiac could be the Ponte. But anyways, you could see that the gaps all around, at least the hood part, look really, really straight. There's these burnt marks or the patina, but this is why I like it the way it is. The only thing that I noticed was missing was this trim, and then we actually might have it. It's either in the car or in the garage. But the front end is pretty solid. The bumper still has its chrome on it. The rubber piece you can see just kind of fell off. The grille is in good condition. The lights and all the trim around it, all the chrome, even the hood ornament stayed. Now running down the side and look at the wheels. These are 225 75 15s. These are the original hubcaps. Will not be able to pry it off with my hand, but that's what I liked about it, because all the hubcaps were original and they were all still attached to the car. You could still see some green algae here growing. This car has never been washed. I've never washed it. The guy said he hasn't touched it in 15 years. Under here we can see that it's solid. There's no rust here. And looking down the car, there's a little bit of green and some surface rust. Now there is a dent right here, which is not that bad considering the car is 38 years old, and a little bit of surface rust right there. Other than that, the rocker seems solid, and looking back here, same thing. Almost zero rust for this New Jersey wagon. The door swings up like so, and we can see that the ground through the body panel. Just gonna go over, I guess, to the roof, and this rack is pretty solid. Again, the paint has faded, the clear has been burnt out, and now it's got this patina on it, which I actually really like. All the glass is intact. All the rubber seals around the windows are obviously cracked. There's some algae growing. but everything is all complete and in its place. Now the rear also looks pretty good. There is a little bit of some of this plastic probably is just busted, and a little bit of rust on that. But other than that, I mean, it's interesting. Other than that, it's really solid, except for this dent right here. But the emblem survived. Let's take a look under here. Yeah, there's a little bit of surface rust. The exhaust is complete. The gas tank is a little rusty. But looking through, it's a very solid car. I mean, I couldn't be more pleased with how well this car was kept, or how well it held up. This is pretty much a first review walk around. We looked at it, we never tried to start it, we never even tried to turn the motor to see if it seized. I took the guy's word on it. Why? Because the way it is complete, the way it sits, all of the pieces are on it. I figured, I've seen plenty of videos of people starting cars that are 20, 30, 40, 50 years sitting in the field, and they never had issues getting them to run. Department, let's see, this is a disabled American veteran, Service Commission Department, 1987, New Jersey. I would like to get a backstory of this car. Maybe I'll contact the gentleman who had it and see if he has any more information about the vehicle. He said it was his aunt's, and now it's in our possession. Clean New Jersey title. Look at these mirrors on such a boxy car or a wagon. Got these slick rounded mirrors, almost look like bullets. Very small for a huge car like this. Anyways, so this is a 1985. I looked up the VIN on it. Parisienne model station wagon. It was manufactured in Kansas City. It's a 38-year-old car, 4-door wagon. The engine is a 305 Chevy engine with a 5.0 displacement V8, and the brother, or the equivalent to this car, would be a Bonneville, a Catalina, and a Parisienne. The engine is a Chevy 305, like I said, and this is what we have. Let's go ahead and go on the inside of the car. I don't know much of this car yet, but as much as I know, we're gonna go ahead and share. The interior is a little rough, a little bit rougher, and manufacture date June of 1985, and it's got all the things that a car should have. Now, like I said, the rubber is all cracked, it's all weathered, it's all messed up looking, but even in here there's a little bit of rust. For the most part, it just needs a good washing. Here is a little mirror adjustment manual, and our door panel. Things are peeling, things are cracked and weathered, and they have like a green, oh yep, there it goes, it's coming off, green algae on it. But anyways, this is the door. It's got some of that wagon carpet, and look at the door, just a little bit of surface rust, but for the most part very solid, very old, and just needs a good old clean and a good old wash. Now, body by Fisher. Everything's intact except this green carpet. Anyways, here's the interior. For such a big car, it's such a small steering wheel. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Now the dash is a little rough, if you ask me. The windshield is cracked, but everything below this point is in pretty good shape. The owner's manual. Nice and old. More trunk space thanks to Goodyear. Okay, just your GM brochures. Recommended fluids and lubricants, which is nice to have. And all the maintenance records that are not filled out. Clean. So that's kind of cool. ETR music featuring electronically tuned receivers. Okay, let's take you guys back to 1985. Back to electronic tuning, big knobs and buttons that with sliders that still work. Look at that wood trim, wood paneling. But you can see how clean it is in here. Gonna go ahead and close that up. We do have the keys for the car. Let me show you. Right here, two really old weathered keys. GM. And what's wrong one? Let's try this one. And look how old that is. That goes in. Ignition turns, but nothing happens. Another cool thing that really drew my attention to this car was, let me see, I don't know if you can see it, it has 66,979 miles. That is amazing. Got the rear window button here, the light switch, rear defrost, brake, hood, brake, and gas and brake. Got a little vent to cool your crotch or heat it, whichever one, whichever season that you might be in. But look at this steering wheel. Man, it is tiny. It is thin. Look at that. And it is very cool. I'm so excited to work on this car and try to get it started and run. We got the lighter here. Check it out. That thing doesn't look like it's ever been used. Got the faded carpet. You can see it was yellow at one time. But under the sun it faded to white. I've got a pair of keys. Not sure to what. This is the first time actually digging through here myself. Tolls. New Jersey Highway Authority, 1952, chairman. Some kind of toll tickets. Interesting. Then we have, what do we have in here? like a counter, magnetic clicker or counter. I'm not sure what that's all about. That's it. Small vents. Okay, up here we got the visor with this, oh, I guess like a sunglass. Well, I've never seen this before. I guess it's like a sunglass sun shield. Huh. Right here it says Sun Shield, P.O. Box 351, Plymouth, Michigan. U.S. patent. Man, look at what the 80s, maybe the 90s had. Oh, and there's a flower here. Man, look at all that. Which says Catholic War Veterans, USA. Made by disabled veterans. Veterans Assistance Programs. Thank you. Veterans, whoever owned this car, thank you so much for serving. This is just it all fell apart. It's all so crusty. Anyways, moving on. So the gears seem to be shifting. There are no brakes. I don't want to shift because it'll roll down the hill. But let's move on to the seats. The seats is a bench seat, which is actually in pretty good condition. Look at this. No rips, no tears. The door hinges need some attention. Definitely need some wash. But you can see how good these are. What good condition they are in. I'm not sure how this thing operates. As in, does this thing move? Oh, it does move. Oh. Okay, so there's let me see this. Okay, so we're moving, but it has to be done simultaneously with that one, because as you can see, it's a bench seat. You got your GM seat belt, the other seat belt, or the lap belt, and we've got this belt that still holds out and actually still works. All right, let's move on to the back seats. But as you can see, definitely not bad of a seat. Still in pretty good shape. There's a center armrest. The lights, like a little projector ball. But yes, the headliner is wrecked. This thing has seen better days. It's hanging down like a curtain. You could see over here. This will all be cleaned up. I don't want to rip it because I don't want all the mess. Now moving on, back seat also pretty rough, but I think it'll clean up very well. All the windows are power windows. Got a little ashtray up and some kind of a nasty looking hair ball. Everything operates. A little bit of surface rust. Look at this. Clean-ish. Look at these trim pieces. Under here, the seat has definitely seen better days. They put this carpet, it was duct taped. Surprisingly, the back seat is worse condition than the front seat. Kind of interesting. The back part is pretty good, I would say, and then definitely Very torn up headliner. Nice little touch, nice handle. All of this can be reconditioned, I believe, and it's gonna look amazing. Let me see if there's anything under the seat. Nope, nothing. There's a bag right here. Nothing else. These are original floor mats. It says GM right there. And let's go in the trunk, or the third row seat. Man, this door is like a gate. You need a gatekeeper. So technically, this is a double hinge door. Oh, that's nice. We got a wasp nest. Hopefully there's no wasps in there. Hornets. This is a double hinge door, which means you can see it's got two latches that I believe when the window is down, you can open it and the tailgate will fall straight back and open this way. When the window is up, it swings around like so. Got the two of the mechanisms to lock. And over here, a little bit of rust, nothing major. Not sure if these are old temporary plates. Anyways, check this out. Everybody loves the back seat of these cars because of how cool this is. Now, there's a handle right here. Boom. Talk about automatic. There you go. That's latched. And then you take this and you would close it, and you can even lock it. Let's see if we can lock it up. There are a couple of more keys. I'm not sure if every part of this car has different keys. Anyways, I'm glad it's not locked. I mean, look at the trunk space. This thing is huge. And I'm sure we could even, look at this, seat release. Huge button. Oh man, there's so much dog hair in here. Boom. Oh man. Let's take a look. Look at that. Who needs a truck or anything of that sort? Okay, now I'm gonna lay down in here. Let's see how this is gonna look. Gonna put this here. Okay. All right. Now, my head is touching the back seat. I'm 6 foot tall, and there's still plenty of room. Oh, man, this is huge. But pick this up, release that, and now we got a seat. There is an ashtray. There's a big cubby right there. That's locked. Let's see. I've never looked in here actually. Hopefully some critter doesn't jump out. Let me go get another set of keys and let me see. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got goodies in it. Look how big that is. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's take a look in here. Got a screwdriver, another screwdriver, tire wrench, ice scrapers, Fred's Sonico service, South Amboy, New Jersey, and Sayreville, New Jersey. That's just up the street from me. Yeah, wow, that's a pretty big cubby. Got a towel. We'll put this stuff back. Well, I'm glad this key's here. And then back here is the spare tire. And I gotta figure out how to put this down. Put that down. Ah, here we go. I'm sure that's probably the original tire. Not sure what that mechanism, probably tire release. Yeah, wow. It's all just right behind here. Service parts identification. Do not remove. Anyways, there's a light here. And that will do it for the rear or the trunk. Now, I guess let's go and look under the hood. Maybe the best part about it. Or the okay, so yeah, the hood latch. Okay. I mean, look at everything closes, everything is straight. The gaps are all the same. Car's never been in an accident from my own best understanding. I think we'll name it Ponty. Ponty the Pontiac. Okay. Huge hood, and it still stays up and it works. Here we go. Now when we opened it, we saw how complete it was. Like I said, this is a 305 Chevy, which I'm still getting used to all these older kind of names. Chevy 60, General Motors. But I mean, this thing is pretty clean. Originally it says 66,000 miles, and then I forgot what the title said. I'll have to take a look at it. There's a little rat's nest or something in there. You can see there's like some sticks and twigs, but everything else, I mean, it's complete. The belts, the hoses are not all messed up. I'm sure we'll need to change a few hoses, but everything is just in its place. There's a light. Now, like I said, we didn't have the right battery. We didn't have the proper battery. You can see the rust under here. But as soon as we get a battery, and as soon as I find some time, we're gonna try to turn this over and see if we can get it started. Now let me see what's going on under here. Now I'm gonna need your guys' help, because this will be my first attempt at will it start type of series. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. Sure, it might need a rebuild or a tune. But other than that, man, I am just so happy to have come across this car, and to get it running, the looks to me is not as important as the drivability, and also for it to start, run, and go from point A to point B. But I think it'll be a really cool project. I told my wife, I said I want to rebuild something like this, restore and take it across country from East Coast to the West. She said, you can drive it yourself, I'll fly with the kids and meet you there. So we'll see how all of that goes. I'm sure the brake booster will need to be cleaned because there are no brakes at the moment. Let's see if there's oil. We did check. There is oil. There's a good level of oil. It says full. So that's a good sign. But like I said, this car has not been washed, it has not been vacuumed, it has not even been attempted to be turned or started. So all of these things are just we hauled it over here, we parked it, and it's just been sitting here for a few months. I've been eager to make a video about this car for you guys and start working on it. But where's the time for that? Anyways, please leave your comments, leave any suggestions, any recommendations. Where should I start first? I know I want to see if it runs, if it starts first, then brakes and all that stuff. And I'm hoping by this fall, or hoping sometime in the near future, we could at least hear that engine roar and get it to run. I mean, the tires still hold air. And this is it, 1985 Parisienne Safari. I'll include some photos, and just very excited to introduce this project, this car to you guys. Don't worry, I still have the Mercury. I've got some cool projects coming up, a whole list of things that need to be done. But this one's been on the back burner just for a simple video like this, a walk around introduction, and just honestly a cry for help. If anybody knows much about these and what's the best way to come around to getting this bad boy back on the road. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I hope you guys like it. Like I said, I still have content, and I'm still going to be producing the walk around and interview videos of the Panther platform. That's my love. That's what got me into this. But I also have a special heart for all things automotive, all things retro or old. Maybe it's my age. Thank you for tuning in. To love what you drive. We'll see you in the next one.